In today's video, I am going to give you 5 simple 4-out basketball plays that you can run with your team. Now, the 4-out offense is actually quite useful. You can use it against a zone defense. You can use it against a man-to-man. And if you have one really big player with a couple of smaller guards or maybe forwards, this offense can work really well for you. So let's get down, let's check this out, and I hope that these help you win more games. Really quickly, if you want to be able to stop most offenses, make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. It doubles the low post and traps the corners without leaving any players open. So let's get down, let's check out these plays really quick. Okay, so first we're going to have our center in the high post. Now, generally speaking, I would like to have the perimeter players to be spread out like we see right here. This is a very good strategy to be able to run because now the very most basic play that you can run is basically a 4-out pass and cut. We're going to have player 1 pass the ball into player 5 and player 1 is going to cut to the basket. Now the idea here is once this pass enters the high post, the entry pass, this defender will generally turn around and really quickly look at the ball. That's why this play is so deadly, because after that pass, player 1 is going to cut. There's going to be a passing window about here in this range right here. He needs to be able to pass that ball to player 1, and that's going to then lead to an easy layup. Now, a couple of different reads that you can make is if player 3 came to cut off that drive or that cut, player 5 can do a quick pass out to player 3 for a 3-point shot. It all comes down to, of course, this man right here. If he drops off, player 3 will be open for a 3-point shot. These are quick reads that player 5 needs to be able to make. If player 3 is covered, player 1 is covered, and that pass can't make it, we are then going to have player 3 sprint up, player 1 is going to fill out, and now our secondary option is player 5 either passing to player 3, and if player 3 gets that pass, this will be a quick screen by player 5. This will end with a screen and roll, where player 5 will then roll towards the basket. If there's a switch, this is going to be wide open and a mismatch where we can get some easy points. And of course, if help defense comes, we can kick it out for a 3. We always want to try and look for kick-out passes, no matter what. Doesn't matter what offense we're running. Could be 4-out, 5-out, 3-out, and 2-in. Doesn't matter. If there's a drive, there's a paint touch, if there's a collapsing of defense, you need to be able to kick that ball out for open 3-point shots. If that's not there, well, player 5, whether they got the switch or not, is going to be going back to the high post, and we can run this play once again. Or we can go into play number 2. Play number 2, we're going to switch these guys back around. We're going to bring player 1 back up to the point where he belongs. Play number 2, player 2 is going to take a few steps in. Player 1 is going to take a few dribbles out towards this left side. We're going to make a quick pass. This is a very dangerous pass, so of course this needs to be a beam, and player 2 needs to be coming to the ball, because we don't want player 2 red to be intercepting that pass. Once that pass happens, we're going to have player 5 step up, set the back screen on player 1, who is then going to be cutting to the basket. Now it's player 2's turn to make the decision. Is he going to hit player 1 with a pass, where he can go in for that layup, or maybe collect a help defender where we can kick it out? Or is player 1 covered, or potentially having player 4 come in and play help to cut off that drive, in which case we can kick it over to the corner for a 3-point shot. Player 4 can also be lifting, because of course if his man leaves, he needs to lift, move off ball, because now once player 4 blue gets that ball, player 4 red is going to look to decide to go back to where he's from. It's just instinct at that point, and then he's going to have to recover. So by the time he recovers to player 4 blue better be getting that 3-point shot off. Of course, at this point, we would be looking to have player 1 in the high post because he just rolled to the basket. We're still in 4-out. Player 4 can then look to, of course, run the exact same play as what we ran before. However, now it's being an entry pass from the corner instead of the point, which I guess you could call this play number 3. This can be an entry pass into the high post from the corner. This upon itself is a very, very deadly pass because now player 4 is going to be moving in. He's going to be kind of watching here. Player 4 can cut behind player 4 red. If he's playing a bit deeper, player 4 can cut in front of player 4 red. It doesn't matter. Player 4 blue has to cut. And any passes into the high post. If you can cut, this should be a wide open layup for player 4. Nice little bounce pass, and it's just simple, easy, and nice. Now, what happens if we're being faced with a 2-3 zone? Well, if there's a 2-3 zone, all of those plays will still work. However, we can actually start in a 5-out to try to spread out the offense, and we can then do the entry into the high post. We can call 4-out for Bob, let's say. Let's say this is Bob, whatever. And player 3 will then move down, player 1 will move over, in which case player 5 red is going to be really watching that high post. Player 2 is going to be watching that high post, and this is going to be play number 4 because of course it's going to be the same but yet still similar to what we just ran. Player 1 is going to do the entry pass into player 5, and at this time, instead of player 1 cutting to the basket, we can have player 2 cut to the basket. This would then be a pass from player 5 to player 2. If player 4 is smart and quick, he can get in there. We can kick that ball out for a 3. If not, this will be just a layup by player 2. We can also run the exact same thing depending on how the defense is set up, where now, if player 3 was playing a bit high on this entry pass, we could have a baseline cut on player 3. We just need to be able to work off ball, understand what our defense is doing. We could literally have both of these players cut at the same time, and it just comes down to the read that player 5 thinks is the best read. He can also do a skip pass out to player 4, because of course the defense is all basically coagulated towards the key because nobody wants the ball in the high post, in which case this corner is going to be absolutely wide open. Now this fun little play is actually a very, very good play. I like it a lot. Pass into player 5. Player 1 is going to use player 5 as a screen. This works really well actually against a man-to-man. It works a lot better against a man-to-man, I'm not going to lie. However, he's going to be using player 5 as a screen. Player 5 needs to keep that ball high, and then he's going to do a quick pass into player 1 for the layup. Now, the idea here against a zone will be this is probably going to be open because, of course, you're cutting close to player 5. These guys haven't collapsed yet, and it could be wide open. If it's not wide open and player 3 collapses, we can have the kick out to player 3 blue for the 3-point shot. Make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below if you're looking to double the low post, trap the corners, and not leave any players open. It's a very deadly zone defense. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.